So you want to know the story on the old Honda. This is a 1982 Honda three-wheeler, 200cc. It has the high and low range. I don't know much about it. This thing's been sitting here for probably the better part of 10 years. I haven't done anything with it. We're going to pull it out, and I'm going to try to get it running today. Probably not going to be able to make it run, but we'll find out. I don't know if it's going to fit on that little trailer. Well, I don't know if she's going to stay on there, but it's on there. We made it, barely. Stuff coming out of that tank don't look very good. I was just looking this thing over. It's pretty rough. And then I saw that and I was like, oh no. Remember how I said this thing's been sitting for 10 years? Well, it's probably been sitting for 10 years with no carburetor on it. So I'm thinking that engine might be locked. We'll have to get a socket and test her out. And maybe I can try to... Well, no, I can turn it a little, so that's a good sign. Gotta go find that carburetor. Yeah, this is where it's sitting. I know I had some. Is that it right there? Very well could be. Oh boy. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and see if this thing's firing. Oh. Oh! Well, the seats had the radish. Look at that. You know, this is the seat frame here. It's completely toast. These ones were metal back then instead of plastic like most of the machines today. Yep. Wow. Wonder how this tank is. As good as I expected. Everything's just sitting on here. Honestly, it looks pretty clean in there. I think I'm going to spray a little oil just for the heck of it. Everything has potential, but man, if this thing runs today, I'd be very, very surprised. Wonder if these tires will hold any air. I don't have the right size battery for this, but I'm gonna throw a battery on here just to see if she'll turn over, see if that starter's any good. So we don't have any key switch or anything here, so I can bypass that and then run the push button start. But the quickest way is just to jump it off the solenoid, just to see if our starter's working here. It's not a good sign. Oh yeah, she is. But we're gonna see if we get any spark here. Nothing there, not yet. Alright, so we got no fire on the old girl, so we're gonna have to start testing stuff. This 1982 Honda BigRed 200 has been sitting for 10 years. Just pulled it out of the bushes there yesterday. We're gonna try everything we can to see if this thing will run today. So I didn't spend too much time on this thing yesterday, but what I did learn is the engine wasn't seized somehow. There's been no carburetor on this thing. It's been sitting forever. But it's not seized. The starter works. I hooked the battery up. We don't have spark. We gotta see why it doesn't have spark. We're gonna start right with the stator. Check the specs. It should be around 200 ohms from this. This is the power wire to a ground. Stick that in there. Right there. We're at 209 ohms, so that checks out. We have like a CDI unit up here that runs on the camshaft. So that's the next thing we're gonna check. We're gonna pull these two wires right here. We should be getting 30 ohms on this. And I'm getting 0. Most likely our issue right there. Luckily I got a bunch of parts for these. Hopefully I have a good one. We'll go check that out. I have another one right here. Let me show you. One lead to the other. See that? About 31 ohms. So obviously this one is within spec. This one does not read anything. So we're going to replace that and hopefully we get some spark. There is a slight amount of up and down play. So there's an adjustment to this. And you got to take your feeler gauge and between 15 and 20 thou, or some, I think it was 15 to 20 thou. We're going to run 18. You're just going to stick that right in there, push it down, and then we'll tighten her up. I'm going to leave the cover off for now because there's no sense of putting that back on until we see if she's got spark. Cross our fingers here. Jump it off the solenoid. We have fire. This thing's going to run today. She's got oil in it. I'm going to try to start it. It's got oil. Let's go ahead and throw the plug back in it and just try to start it up. So I don't have a carburetor on there at all, but I'm kind of impatient and I want to see if this thing will at least pop. If it does start, she's going to rev to the moon because there's nothing to block the air. So. But we'll try it. Oh yeah, she's gonna run. Alright, time to go work on that carb. Nothing but the best for the old girl. Alright, let's check out this beautiful carburetor that's been sitting out in the grass. Alright. Check. Ooh, she's a little dry. A little dry. Needle valve still moves. Wow. Alright, so I went ahead and cleaned everything, real quick. You can see there's still a lot of stuff in there, and this is kind of like pitted. It will come off if I sand it, but I only got so much time today, and I know you guys will never forgive me if I don't get this thing running. So I do have an ultrasonic cleaner that would that I dunk this in, and it would clean that up probably pretty good, but it takes a couple hours to get it good. So we're just gonna throw it back together like this. So I'm not sure if that original tank is actually salvageable or not. She's pretty crusty in there, but I might mess with it later on. But for now, she's gonna be part Yamaha YZ. She's a beauty. Let's see what we got here. Are you kidding me? Nope. It didn't last long. Alright, new plug in there. Now let's try it. Look at this thing. She's a runner. Runs freaking good. Yeah. And it might be puffing a little bit, but I gotta get a chain on there, and then I can drive this thing. Alright, so we got the old Honda here. This is going to be part 3, and we're going to throw a battery in there that actually fits it. I'm going to try to put a chain on this thing, and hopefully I can drive it today. Alright, this should fit a little better. Alright. Still doesn't fit. It's a little bit too wide for the slot in there, but this one fits a lot better. At least it's we'll be under the seat. Alright, we're going to see if we can sneak that chain in here. I got a brand new 520 chain. It's not for this machine, but pretty long, so it should fit. I just have to cut it down. Alright. So yeah, this chain is going to be way too long. Yep, so we got to cut that right there. There. Now we're good to go. New master link on. Alright, let's see how she starts today. I haven't started it yet. You kidding me? Crazy. Let's see if she's gonna drive. First gear. Need a throttle. She goes. So checking out the old BigRed today, and it's gonna need some work. For one, the front shocks are froze solid. Those things, I'll have to pull these off and see if I can oil them or something. But yeah, they're just froze right up. Not the biggest deal in the world. Let me start this up and I'll show you the other problem. As you can see, she fires right up very easily. The problem, see, I'll kick it into first gear here. You can see it's trying to go ahead. That clutch, this has got an auto clutch on it, so it should not be moving. And when I have it in gear, it's dumping oil out of there. That doesn't sound good. That's not the chain. I thought it was the chain at first, but it's not the chain. It's that clutch inside there, I guess. But I don't know why it's leaking over here. There must be a seal gone from it. It goes, but it seems to be freeing up, but the oil leak does not stop. And it only leaks when it's in gear, which is kind of strange. Or maybe it's going to be leaking all the time now. You know, she's a pretty good runner, but it definitely needs some work. I might have to pull that motor out and figure out what's going on with that. Might be able to pull just the little transfer case here off and see. I'm actually going to look at another three-wheeler today, so I'm holding off on this one for now. You guys will probably see that other one pretty soon. So the old Honda that I pulled out of the bushes the other day has a major oil leak down bottom. It's also, I noticed it's leaking around the seal. Can't really tell what's actually leaking. I think the easiest way is just to pull the engine out of this thing and then I'll know for sure. Probably gonna have to be pulled to replace whatever seal or whatever's leaking anyways. Oh wow, look at that. Looks like they probably broke this at one time, and looks like a piece of threaded rod or maybe a bolt or something that they bent and welded. Yeah, probably pretty strong now. Last motor mount bolt. Really not all that bad. There's one down here, one here, and then your front mount here. So let's hope and pray. These are old exhaust bolts. Didn't even break. But that's an expensive starter. Oh, I missed one. There's an upper motor mount too. That'd be a close one. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Looks like the chain came off in the past and smacked the case up here. It's broke. And also down there a little bit. I don't know if that's what's causing the leak or not. It kind of looks like it's coming from the seal right here, but I could be wrong. So I went ahead and ordered the gasket kit for this. Even if it is that case, I do have a spare one. I got a whole spare engine for this thing. So either way, I'll be all set, but I need that gasket kit to finish her up. The clutch was sticking on this, so I went ahead and ordered new clutch plates. So in the meantime, I'll jump on that new Yamaha I just got.